Hello everyone, welcome to the Flipped Collaborate for Assignment 3 case study for EDU 10004. You've done so well. We've finished our Assignment 1, our presentation. You'll be so happy that you've got our major assignment, Assignment 2, completed, your essay. And the good news is, as we head into the end of the teaching period, most of your assessment weighting is behind you. So you can take things a little bit easier, and you can also rely on your teammates because this is a team task. So let's have a quick look at our task together. So you'll be very familiar with this now. So I've gone into our unit on our dashboard, into assignments and into assignment 3. So this is our case study. We have a word limit of 1500 words plus or minus 10%. And a lovely gentle weighting of 30% because you've already done so much work. Well done everyone. And we've got our due date is Monday of week 12, which is excellent. So you can work all the way up to week 12, and you'll also include lots of information that's going to be helpful in our readings all the way up to week 12. So let's have a quick look at this together because again, it might be a little bit different from something that you've completed before, but don't worry. The ELE team is especially talented at helping all the students get through a remote group task. So here we go. Assignment 3. What is a case study? So our assignment overview tells us that case studies depict real life scenarios or problems that help people consider multiple ways of looking at a topic. They also provide opportunities to link theory with practice because they bring theory alive with a real-world scenario. So this assignment requires us to work both individually and collaboratively. So that's with your teammates. You're asked to analyse a case study in relation to theories encountered in this unit. You're asked to develop an improved case study. And we're asking you also to reflect on your learning through this task and also through the 12 weeks that you have with us. So let's have a little look at our assignment details. Okay, for this assignment, you'll work in teams of 3 or 4. Your ELA will have assigned you into a team. We did this in week 6, just so you'd have a little bit of time up your sleeve before we went into console week. So everyone has been allocated into a team. If perchance you haven't made contact with your team already, you'll need to head to your emails or your announcements from your ELA for the link to find the team discussion just for you and your teammates. It's a special place for you to join together in Canvas, and you can begin your conversations and your discussions there. From there you can move to other platforms, but it's a good place to start. So we've created that for you. There's also a template that you'll use to collate all your work. I've popped that into our Padlet as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a scenario and we're going to go through a number of steps in order to analyze it. And again, our learning designers have been really helpful and they've walked us through that. And we're going to complete it through weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So again, our text is useful here. So you'll find chapter 13 is very helpful. So please have a look through that. And while you do have this scenario in mind. So let's look at our scenario here. We'll read through it together. In a foundation classroom, the children are seated at shared tables of 6 to complete their lessons. The teacher decides where each child sits, so children who are sometimes disruptive sit with children who are more able to focus. Molly, Jenna, and Teo share a table, and Molly and Teo are mostly able to complete their set tasks. But Jenna likes to fidget, sing, talk enthusiastically, and is easily distracted. The teacher has tried to think of strategies to help Jenna focus, but nothing has worked so far. The teacher has spoken with Jenna's parents, who say she is a happy child, and the transition report from the kindergarten teacher states that she loves to learn, asks lots of questions, and socializes well with other children. So this scenario here, the reason we're doing a case study is it's a really excellent way for you to demonstrate the learning that you have that you've gained over the unit so far. And what it is this is your opportunity. This is where you can find some clues in here and take those specific particulars, and that's what's going to help you analyze the scenario. So the first thing I'm thinking of here is, okay, we've got a foundation class, so we know an idea of the ages of the children. The children are seated, they're at tables, there's 6 of them, and that's where they complete their work. The teacher decides where they sit, and those might be some key elements that you might look at when you analyze this case study with your teammates. So have a look through. It's a very short scenario, but every piece of information is in there for a reason. So please use the particulars, and they will help you demonstrate your understanding to us of how theories can inform the work of teachers and meet the needs of our students. So that's our scenario. So we take our scenario here and we complete steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So step 1, you'll complete in week 8. Step 2, week 9. Step 3, week 10. And then we have step 4 and step 5. And finally, step 6 is our appendix. So this will make more sense as we keep going through. So we're going to look through the requirements here. So this is again where our learning designers have walked us through this. So for step 1, we're going to complete your team discussion with your teammates in your own little group, and you're going to work collaboratively together, and you're going to come up with approximately 250 words. So we encourage you to work fairly closely to these word counts, because it will help you effectively meet the criteria in order to get the grade that you want. So about 250 words, 400, and it goes all the way through. So in step 1, these are the questions that are posed to you, and you're going to answer these in your 250 words. So we go through each of the steps here, and we will be completing these alongside you in our weekly discussions. There's one thing I want to identify here, and that's just that there is no right or wrong theory. So we start by you working together to analyze the scenario. Then each team member chooses a theory that we have covered in our unit and goes off and researches it, comes up with some of the main elements of it, and some of the positives and negatives, the benefits and limitations, comes back in step 3, shares them with the team. So each of you will come back and share how you believe that your theory meets this scenario and can meet the needs of the children in the scenario. And from there, you're going to go individually again to write an improved scenario. Step 5 again is individual. So this is your own personal reflection on the learnings that you have had in this unit. And you're going to let us know also your own reflections on the team task. And step 6 is an appendix, which is your record of collaboration. So what we're going to ask you to do is provide us evidence that you have collaborated and discussed with at least one teammate, and it will meet criteria 1. And there's some links there to some teamwork resources that will help you. And I have an example of that in our Padlet. For this one, it's your decision whether it's an individual or a team task. Well, I highly recommend that for when you're completing the team tasks and the discussions, that you take screenshots of everything that you do. And then when you collate your assignment, the last thing you'll do is you'll create your appendix, and that will demonstrate your collaboration to your ELA. That way, if you've taken screenshots of everything you've done, you'll have lots to choose from. They might overlap with your teammates. They might be unique. You're going to choose the evidence that best presents your collaboration with your teammates. So that's your choice, whether that's a team or an individual. Step 6. I'm going to move down here to our criteria. So we've got 5 criteria here. Our ELA team are going to go through the criteria when we have our live brainstorm sessions. So I won't go through that, but where we are going to head is straight to our Padlet. So you'll be quite familiar with these now. So we're going to start here. So you're listening to the Flipped Collaborate. Excellent. You've started. Well done, everyone. You're off and running. So I'm going to pop the assignment brief here and the link to this recording. And how are we going to support you this time round? So you're listening to the Flipped Collab. We're going to have 2 live brainstorming sessions. They will be identical, so choose which one suits you best to turn up to. If you can't turn up to them, remember that I'll pop the recordings in over here. And right towards the end, when you've completed your assignment, but you might just have one little niggling question just before submission, in week 11, our ELAs will turn up for a live session. There's no new content presented there. It's just a Q&A session. And finally, I have another resource here that might help you out. So sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, the thought of completing a team task alongside people when we all learn remotely together. So how do we do a team task? Please don't be overwhelmed by it. We've had hundreds and hundreds of students come through. Our ELA team is really, they really understand some of the pressures and the challenges involved. And so many students have actually said at the end, you know what, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And just follow some tips and tricks to help you find each other, to communicate. And what this is here is a very generous student shared her time and created it's just a 9-minute video that I've got in YouTube there. And she shares how they overcame some challenges. They all shared 4 team members, and each of them all had different lives, different responsibilities, and different times that they could work on their assignment and how they made that work. So I really encourage you to head over there and have a look at that video over here. So these are our live sessions. So we're going to have brainstorming in week 9, brainstorming in week 10, and again our Q&A session. I've popped the brainstorm collab slides there. So if you've got something you're a little bit worried about, great. I've had a look in there and I know that we're going to cover it. Sometimes that's quite helpful. And I'm going to pop over here. I have included some frequently asked questions. One of the most frequently asked questions is, why do we do a case study? Why are we doing a case study? And one of the things that I found after I graduated and was teaching is I didn't really understand how much I would enjoy the relationships and the support that I gained from my own teaching buddies. So it might be in a subject area, it might be in a teaching level, but what happens is that we all come across some challenges, some difficulties and things like that, and you sit down in the staff room over a cup of tea and you share them, and everyone shares their own perspective and their own ideas, and they'll all have a basis somewhere in theory. So this is a little bit like that. So you'll be drawing on your colleagues, they'll be doing their own research, you'll be sharing as well, and this is a little bit like that. So that's why we do a case study, and there's also a little video there. I'm just going to pause here and I'm going to start a new session because I've got some more information to share with you. So please head over to Flipped Collaborate session number 2. Bye.